Welcome to this explainer. You know the exact feeling. You sit down, highly motivated, ready to crush just one simple task or read a single page of a book, and bam, instantly derailed. Today we're diving into exactly how modern tech hijacks our focus, but more importantly, we're going to look at the wild, ancient reasons why it happens in the first place.
It usually kicks off just like this. You're, maybe 30 seconds into reading, and then almost without even thinking about it, you reach for your phone. Just a quick glance, right? Nothing major.
But, well, that one glance opens the floodgates. Suddenly you're like, oh right, I forgot to send that email. Then your stomach rumbles. Or for some completely random reason, you absolutely must know the capital of North Dakota right this second. It's this crazy cascade of darting thoughts out of nowhere, and almost instantly, the guilt sets in. And 5 minutes later, forget about it. You've totally lost track of what you originally sat down to do. Look, it sounds entirely too familiar, doesn't it? Most of us go through this and just immediately beat ourselves up. We think, I'm so lazy, or I'm hopelessly addicted, or I literally have zero discipline. But I really want you to let go of that guilt for a second.
Because we really need to ask a much more profound question here. What if your brain is actually doing exactly what it evolved to do? Seriously, what if it isn't broken at all? What if it actually loves distractions, not to sabotage your work, but because tens of thousands of years ago, being easily distracted was the exact thing that kept you alive?
Section 1. The orienting response, and why we are built to notice things.
To really wrap our heads around this, we kind of need to ditch the modern office and step way, way back in time, like 50,000 years back. Imagine you're walking through a dense forest, hunting for food. Suddenly, there's a tiny rustle in a bush right behind you. Do you just ignore it and stay super focused on your walk? No way. That rustle could be a predator, a snake, or hey, maybe your next meal. The ancestors who dropped everything to notice that change, they survived. The ones who stayed laser focused, well, they didn't. Today, instead of a rustling bush, your phone buzzes. Biologically, it's the exact same reaction, just a very different trigger.
Scientists actually have a name for this. It's called the orienting response. Basically, it's a hardwired automatic shift of your attention whenever something brand new pops up in your environment. So jumping at a pinging notification, that's not a personal weakness. That is literally your ancient brain working perfectly, trying to keep you safe.
Moving on to Section 2, the novelty trap, and why we constantly crave the new.
See, our brains aren't just trying to avoid getting eaten, they are aggressively wired to hunt for new stuff. And this all comes down to a little chemical called dopamine. Now, a lot of people think dopamine is just a pleasure chemical, like it's only there to make us feel good. Actually, scratch that. It's really the pay attention chemical. Every single time a new text, video, or headline pops up, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine that screams, hey, look over here, this might be important.
And man, does this show the evolutionary mismatch we're stuck in. Back in the day, novelty meant a huge survival opportunity, a new food source, a safer walking path, you name it. Today, novelty is just endless social media feeds and infinite scrolling. Every swipe promises something new, and even though 99% of it is totally useless to our actual survival, our ancient brains honestly can't tell the difference.
Which brings us to Section 3, variable reward and the power of unpredictability.
Here's where things get a bit calculated. Tech platforms know our biology inside and out. Think about it. You don't keep scrolling because every single post is amazing. You keep scrolling because the next one might be. You never know what you're going to get. It could be hilarious, it could be boring, it could be outrageous. Psychologists call this a variable reward system. It is the exact same deeply addictive mechanic behind a casino slot machine. Your brain just loves that mix of uncertainty and potential reward, making every single swipe feel like pulling a lever.
Plus, we've got to talk about the energy cost. Doing deep, focused work, that is incredibly expensive for your body. Thinking hard and learning burns a ton of energy. And remember, your brain's primary job is to conserve energy to keep you alive. Quick distractions, on the other hand, like watching a 10-second video, are cheap. They take almost zero mental effort. So when your brain chooses the phone over the spreadsheet, it's not being lazy. It's just choosing the most energy-efficient path.
Okay, Section 4, stress and attention, and how anxiety acts as a huge multiplier.
So, we've got an ancient brain that loves shiny new things and hates burning energy. But your daily mood is a massive multiplier here. When you are super stressed out or anxious, your brain kicks into high alert. It starts literally scanning the environment for threats. Suddenly, every sound and notification feels magnified because your stress is telling your brain, stay ready. This makes hard tasks feel completely overwhelming, and those cheap, easy distractions look incredibly comforting. But when you feel calm and safe, that's when your brain is actually willing to spend the expensive energy required for deep focus. Ever find yourself doom scrolling right before a stressful deadline? You're not escaping because you don't care. Your stressed out brain is just self-soothing with easy distractions.
And let's not forget, your attention is quite literally one of the most valuable resources on the planet. Thousands of tech companies are fighting tooth and nail for it, and they know exactly what captures a predictable brain. Movement, faces, bright colors, emotional stories, surprising facts. None of this is accidental. They use these specific evolutionary triggers because they know our ancient survival instincts are completely defenseless against them.
All right, let's look at Section 5, Reclaiming Focus and Designing Your Space.
Now don't worry, it is not all doom and gloom here. Once you understand the machinery inside your head, you can actually take the wheel. You don't have to go live in the woods and throw your phone in a lake. You just need to design your environment to work with your biology. Here are 4 super practical steps you can take right now. First, silence those unnecessary notifications. Stop giving your orienting response false alarms. Second, put your phone physically out of reach when you need to work. Make the distraction literally cost more physical energy. Third, work in short bursts so you don't drain your mental battery. And fourth, take intentional breaks. Give your brain the downtime it desperately craves.
And above all else, please stop beating yourself up when your mind wanders. Keep this in mind. The goal is never perfect, unbroken focus. That's impossible. The goal is gently bringing it back. Your attention is naturally going to drift. True strength is just noticing that drift and gently pulling it back to what you were doing. Think of it like going to the gym. Every time you pull your focus back, you're literally doing a mental rep and building up that focus muscle.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to chew on. The very next time you feel that sudden, undeniable urge to grab your phone in the middle of something important, just pause and ask yourself, who is really in control of this next swipe? Is it you, or is it your 50,000-year-old survival instinct? Stop fighting yourself, get to know the ancient mind you already have, and start taking your focus back. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and keep exploring how your beautiful, ancient brain shapes your modern life.